You are listening to Wealthy Muslim Woman Podcast, episode number 38 with Saima Ali, MD. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I hope everybody is doing well. I've been praying extra hard for everybody. So really hoping and praying that everybody in your family, your friends, everybody around you is well. Inshallah, I'll do an episode on how to deal with our mental health, with our mindset in time of chaos. I'll probably do that on next week's episode. But on today's episode, we have another wonderful mindset coach, Andaleep. Andaleep is a first grade teacher and a coach for moms. She helps moms deal with overwhelm and all mom-related issues. And today she will speak about how to deal with mom guilt, and also she'll provide some advice on how to speak to our kids about this pandemic. But before I take you to meet Andaleep, I'd like to say a couple of words about the market. So the stock market went up for a little bit last Friday and then decreased again by Monday. This is expected. We are living in a pandemic world. People are freaking out, which is normal. This new life is not familiar to us, with stores being closed, with schools being closed, with restaurants being closed. Our reaction is normal. And in the stock world, the cruise lines really took a hit for obvious reasons. Most cruise lines have suspended their services in this time, so people are panicking about their business outlay. Like if these companies will go out of business, go bankrupt, and they'll lose all the money they have invested with each cruise line. So people are selling out of panic, which is something that we never want to do. We never want to buy or sell either in a hype or a panic. That never turns out good. So this is one of the reasons why I don't talk about individual companies a lot, and I speak about mutual funds and ETFs more. If you don't know what mutual fund or ETF is, then please go back to episode number 30, and it'll define it and make it clear to understand. So the way the mutual funds work is they are basically self-cleaning methods. What this means that we are purchasing the whole market by buying one mutual fund. So let's say VTSAX, for example. There are currently over 3,500 companies that trade on the stock market. Some of these companies will drop out and go bankrupt. Others will have 1,000, 2,000% or even more in profit. And we, as average investors, are not smart enough to pick up on the right companies at the right time. So one way we can still all benefit is buying all the companies at once. And the profits are basically averaged out. So we will have losses from companies that go out of business, but also profits from companies that do really, really well. So we can really all win in this by this method. Also, I wanted to tell you that I am creating a free training on how to purchase your first stock. It'll be a short 20 to 30 minute video or lectures, and I will share more details about that in the show notes. And that is it today in financial advice news. And now I'll take you to the interview with Andaleep. Assalamu alaikum, Andaleep. Assalamu alaikum. I'm so glad to have you here today. Thank you so much for making some time in these difficult times.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be a part of this.
Thank you. So I guess we'll start by just asking you to introduce yourself to everybody because, you will do a much better job than I will. So I'll ask you to just tell us about yourself.
Yeah, of course. So my name is Andaleep and I live in New Jersey. I am a full-time first grade teacher by day, and I have 3 kids of my own at home. And I also have a business that I've recently started called Positive Minded Kids. Its mission is to help teach moms mindset strategies to help them just kind of overcome overwhelm so that they can start taking action towards their goals. And then they in turn can start teaching their children all these wonderful strategies that I wish that I was taught as a child, because it would really have just changed my outlook and everything as an adult. So that's kind of my mission with my online world. And I'm very, very passionate about mindset. I feel like mindset is so important and not a lot of people know about it. And it can be implemented and integrated in every part of our lives. So I'm just trying to teach as many people as I can about mindset.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So how did you get to this journey of being a teacher to teaching about mindset? And as you said, not many people are aware of all this work, unfortunately. How did you become introduced to it?
Yeah, the mindset work that I had to do on myself was actually how I went from being a very overwhelmed mother that primarily stayed home. I mean, I've always worked part-time, just odd jobs here and there, but I've always been very driven and always been very ambitious. Alhamdulillah, I have a bachelor's degree and I have a master's degree, and I just once I got married, we had decided that we were going to start a family right away. So I put my career goals on hold. But once I had my 2 young children, because I had them within 2 years, I noticed that I wasn't feeling fulfilled. I wasn't feeling like myself. Something was missing. I needed to have some other aspect of life other than just having that wife and mom role in my life. So that's when I kind of just started substitute teaching, and then I fell in love with teaching. So I had to get my mindset right, though, in place, because I had a lot of people come from different angles, different directions, telling me oh, you didn't graduate from college the traditional way. I don't know if schools are going to hire you. So I had to do a lot of work on myself as far as in limiting beliefs and stuff like that, and goal setting, in order for me to adjust my plan and to plan accordingly for me to reach that goal of becoming a certified teacher and start teaching in public schools. So I did that. And once I started teaching in public schools, I noticed that a lot of the students lacked mindset. And a lot of the times that, their self-talk would be very down and very low, very negative. And it really crushed me. It broke my heart. And it made me realize that parents need to step in, get more involved with the correct lingo and the correct talking and the correct upbringing when it comes to mindset, so their children can grow up to believe that they can do anything that they set their mind to. So that's how I kind of lingered that way. So, and then I had to pivot my business a little bit, because I realized that parents aren't going to teach their children these strategies unless they're on board first. Exactly. So I like to try to appeal to parents first, to moms especially, because moms is what children typically spend their most time with, and teachers, of course, because when they're not home, they're in school. So I'm trying to appeal to moms and teachers about mindset. And once they're able to exemplify it, model it, then children will pick up on it more, learn more, because we all know that children learn the best through modeling and through examples.
By seeing their parents.
Exactly.
Yes. So it's so interesting that you went from a stay-at-home mom or just trying to be at home to work. And I've noticed so many moms with that struggle. And both the moms who decided to stay at home and to raise their kids, they have this innate feeling, this struggle that they're not feeling fulfilled and they're missing something out there by letting go of their career or by not finishing their education. And then on the other side, I see the same thing with moms who do have careers and who are working, and they have this mom guilt of being away from kids during the day and now being with them. Is there any strategy or any helpful insight that you can offer to each of these moms? The mom who's
Absolutely.
working and the mom who's staying at home, but feeling like she needs to go out and work.
Yes. Oh my God. So mom guilt, right? That
Yeah.
is such a huge thing with women, in all, like whether they're moms or not, like guilt is such a factor, and it's a feeling that's within all of us. And the way that guilt comes into being into our minds is from a lack. It's a lack perspective. What happens is that we start to think that whatever we're doing is not good enough. So we're having that guilt come and play through and manifest into our world, because whether we're working, we feel like, oh, we're not good enough of a mom because we're not home with our children. Or if we're not working, oh, I'm not contributing to my family other than being a mother. Like I could be doing more. So that mom guilt, or that guilt in general, is there. And it's a very big limiting belief. In the mindset world, we call these limiting beliefs that have been ingrained in us since our childhood and are implanted in our subconscious minds. So a way to overcome those limiting beliefs in mindset is really to just tell yourself, feel, and embody that feeling of worthiness, because you have to truly believe that you are enough. Like you trust is the way to overcome guilt. Like put your faith and trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and believe that what you're doing is exactly what you're supposed to be doing at this point in your life, because we all go through different seasons in our life. And I think that, for me, when I had my two small children, that was the season I was going through, being a stay-at-home mom primarily. And I wish that I had these mindset tactics and strategies, because then it would have helped me so much overcome all those feelings of unworthiness and not enough. So my main thing for women to overcome that guilt is to first tell themselves, affirm that whatever that I am doing right now is good enough. And I trust in Allah that everything that I'm doing is enough.
That's wonderful. That's amazing. And I see this so much from all sides. Everybody is just missing something and feeling sad about something. And I think it's very important that you're doing this. What other struggles do you generally help moms with?
Another struggle that typically moms come to me about is that they don't find time in the day for themselves. Like they just feel like they're caring for other people. So that's actually what I went through too. And I'm a strong believer that, like, if you want something bad enough, you will make room for it in your life, because we are all given the same exact 24 hours in a day. It's what we choose to do with those 24 hours is what we bring into our life. Like, I know, of course, some people, they have circumstances, situations that are not in their control at the present moment. But for people that want more time, like, you can find little pockets of time in so many different places of your day. Like, even if it just means waking up a half hour earlier than your children, just to fill your cup first before you start and having to care for everyone in your family. Because guess what? If you are not fulfilled, if you're not taken care of, you can't care for everyone else. Like, you're not going to do it in the best of your ability, in the best way that you know how. So my advice is for that is you could just try to wake up a little bit earlier. Or I'm also a big believer, like what I've been doing lately, as I'm doing like household chores and stuff like that, I just plug in my AirPods and I listen to like a podcast, or I listen to an audiobook. And it honestly, it makes the chores so much more doable, and like folding laundry, and I don't mind it anymore. Like, it's shifted my perception and feeling like, oh, this is so boring, like I would rather be doing something else, to like, oh my gosh, I'm learning, I'm doing something for myself at this time, as I'm caring for my family, as I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing and that I need to be doing.
Yes. How do moms get in touch with you, and how do you generally help them? Is it through coaching, or is any specific programs out there like that you do with
Yeah.
moms? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm most active right now in my Instagram and my Facebook group. So my Instagram is Positive Minded Kid, and my Facebook group that I do a lot of like free trainings in as well is called Positive Minded Women. And I'm so happy that you asked about the coaching because I'm actually launching a beta one-to-one coaching program on Sunday, and I'm really excited for it. And I can't wait to start working more closely, like with clients one-to-one. And that program's going to be launched on Sunday. So that's primarily how I'm doing like my work right now. I also have a website. It's www.positivemindedkids with an S at the end.com. And on my website, if somebody's like really interested in learning like very basic information about mindset, I have an ebook for sale on my website that I created, just very basic strategies and some like exercises to go with that mindset strategy that you can do and that you could also get your child involved with as well.
Nice. Please send me all the links and I will add them to the episode show notes so people
Absolutely.
will be able to access it easily. Now, okay, so let's talk about this pandemic that's going on that just got dropped on us.
Uh-huh.
How would you help, or what advice would you give a mom to share with her child, or how to deal with this around kids so we are not all freaking out and panicking?
Yes, of course. Oh my gosh. So the thing that my number one tip is structure. Okay. Kids thrive off of structure. And I honestly believe adults do too. Like if you're able to structure the day and put a schedule, because I know these kids are all coming home with packets. I mean, as a first grade teacher, we are required to give packets to our students in order for like the virtual learning to count and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But even the older kids that are going on the computers and stuff, have a schedule for them. Like have a schedule just as if they were in school. Like from this time to this time, you are going to be working and working only. And like this time will be like our meals. And this time will be like our creative hour. This time's going to be our play hour. Like I just feel like structure is so important. And then also like if hopefully the weather clears up a little bit, getting outside, like outside in the backyard, or going on some walks. Like I really feel like even for myself, that helps so much. So parents definitely need to like incorporate that in their daily schedule. And if they are able to just do like some sort of 10, 15, 20 minutes of movement for them, like, you know, maybe like YouTube yoga, or if they're into like running or any type of exercise, like I strongly believe like movement, scientifically it's proven to be beneficial for our mental health, and it helps a lot of things. So those would be my three things for during this time of the corona scare.
Yes, so we just have to stay away from other humans, but we can still go out to walking areas. We love nature centers that we go to for hiking. And of course, we even say hi to other people from far away, but no handshaking and washing your hands when you can, as often as you can. So those are definitely amazing tips. Thank you so much for that amazing advice. And anything else you'd like to add before we end today?
Yeah, so I just want to stress the importance of women just taking time out of their day to make sure that they are caring for themselves, because as women, we are so naturally nurturing and loving and giving that we want to give. And sometimes we forget that we need to be cared for as well. So, whatever it is that brings you joy, really try to tap in to your inner self to figure out what is it that you love to do? What is it that brings you joy and happiness? And ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for guidance, because when you ask Allah for guidance, you will receive it. And it's so powerful, it's so incredible. And once you do something for yourself, if you make some time for yourself every single day, you are going to see like how much better you're going to show up as a mother, as a wife, as a worker, as whatever you are. You're just going to show up as a better version of that. So just definitely try to make some time for yourself, give yourself some self-care. always practice compassion on yourself. Know that you are doing the absolute best that you can at this given like moment, and just trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yes, alhamdulillah. And one of the ways I like to look at it is that when you're flying in a plane and they say if there's a drop in oxygen, you're supposed to put the mask on your face first, and then you help other people, because if you lose consciousness, then you cannot help others at all. So even to serve our family better, even to be with our kids better, we really need to give to ourselves first.
Absolutely.
That's
Definitely.
wonderful advice. Thank you so much for coming. And I am so excited to hear about your coaching program on Sunday. Looking forward to it and just seeing what you're going to be offering. So, and of course, I wish you all the best in the world.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.